Take a good look at this canvas. It is just white paint, nothing else. And yet, it sold for $88 million. Now, think about a construction worker. If he breaks his back every single day from age 18 to 65, he might earn $2 million total. The critics will tell you this masterpiece challenges the concept of emptiness. The billionaire buyer will tell you it touches his soul. That is absolute malarkey. They did not buy it for the art. They bought it because it is light. It is easier to ship than gold, it is less regulated than cash, and unlike Bitcoin, it leaves absolutely zero digital footprint. This is not a painting. It is a blank check that can breeze through airport security without a single question asked. This video will not teach you how to appreciate art. I am going to show you how white-collar criminals use these scribbles to wash billions of dirty dollars right under the nose of the FBI. The global art market moves roughly $65 billion every single year. But that number is not what should scare you. What should scare you is that this is the single largest unregulated legal market on the planet. Think about that for a second. If you buy a share of Apple stock, the SEC is watching you. If you buy a house, the government knows exactly who you are and where the money came from. But in the art world, it is a black hole. No names, no transparency, just anonymous shell companies wiring millions to other anonymous shell companies. So you have to ask yourself, why now? Why have art prices skyrocketed into the stratosphere over the last 20 years? It's not because painters suddenly got a lot more talented, it's because the global billionaire class needed a new piggy bank. See, back in the day, if you wanted to hide money, you put it in a Swiss bank account. But then the United States government applied massive pressure and those famous Swiss secrecy laws crumbled. The super rich needed a new place to store value and fast. But they had specific requirements. They needed something with high value and high density. You cannot run from the IRS carrying $100 million in cash. It weighs too much. Even gold is too heavy to move quickly across borders. They needed something portable. But most importantly, they needed subjective value. This is the key. If I hold up a bar of gold and tell you it is worth $1 billion, you can look at the market price and prove I am lying in 3 seconds. Math does not lie. But if I hold up a canvas with a single blue stripe and tell you it is worth $1 billion, you cannot prove me wrong. There is no spot price for genius. There is no market cap for creativity. By shifting their wealth from objective assets like gold to subjective assets like art, the elites created a system where the price is whatever they say it is, and the taxman is too afraid of looking uncultured to argue. Let us stop pretending this is about culture. The modern art market is essentially just a high-end laundromat, but instead of quarters, you're feeding it millions. Here's how the wash cycle works. Let's say you have $10 million in cash from, let's call it, unapproved pharmaceutical distribution. You can't walk into a bank with duffel bags of cash. That raises red flags. So you need to clean it. Step 1. You need soap. You find a straw buyer. This is just a random guy you pay to go purchase a painting. It doesn't matter what the painting looks like. It could be a stick figure drawn by a toddler. He buys it for $5,000. This painting is now your vehicle. Step 2. The rinse. You put that same worthless painting up for auction at a major house. But here's the trick. You are also the buyer. You use an anonymous shell company registered in the Cayman Islands, funded by your dirty $10 million to bid on your own painting. You drive the price up to the sky. The gavel drops, sold to the mysterious bidder on the phone. You hand the auction house the dirty cash. They take their fat commission fee, and they wire the rest back to you. Suddenly, that money is no longer drug money. It is completely legal, taxable proceeds from the sale of a rare asset. Congratulations, you just turned illegal cash into a legitimate business transaction. And the best part? That worthless painting now has a transaction history saying it is worth $10 million. It is ready for the next cycle. You might be wondering, surely the auction houses know what is happening. Of course they do. But the big houses operate on a convenient business model. They are incentivized by the buyer's premium. As long as the check clears, they are not going to ask where the money came from. They do not ask because they do not want to know the answer.
In this industry, silence is not just polite, it is incredibly profitable. Here's the twist that really makes your stomach turn. You probably imagine these masterpieces hanging above the fireplace in some billionaire's penthouse, or maybe displayed on a super yacht in the Mediterranean. That is a comforting lie. The reality is, most of the world's most valuable art will never be seen by human eyes again. It is locked away in the dark, indefinitely. Welcome to the Geneva Freeport. From the outside, it looks like a dystopian warehouse next to the airport, but inside, it is a fortress of climate-controlled concrete bunkers holding billions of dollars worth of Picassos, Warhols, and Van Goghs. There are more masterpieces rotting away in these storage units than there are in the Louvre. But why would you buy a $50 million painting just to lock it in a crate? Because the Freeport is a legal twilight zone. It is a no-man's land. When a painting is shipped from a private jet directly into the Freeport, legally speaking, it has not entered Switzerland. It is considered in transit. It is in a state of suspended animation where the laws of taxation simply do not apply. This allows for the ultimate magic trick. You buy a painting in New York, you ship it to the Geneva Freeport. 5 years later, you sell it to a Russian oligarch for a massive profit. Now, normally, that transaction would trigger millions of dollars in sales tax, import duties, and capital gains tax. But in the Freeport, nothing happens. The painting does not move. It stays on the exact same shelf, in the exact same dark room. The only thing that changes is a piece of paper in a filing cabinet saying who owns it. The painting never touches US soil. It never touches Russian soil. It never officially enters Swiss soil. It exists nowhere, so it is taxed nowhere. The authorities do not know who sold it, and they definitely do not know who bought it. This is not art storage. It is a shadow bank. It is a reserve currency for the ultra-wealthy, where the bills are made of canvas and oil paint, and the vault is a duty-free zone that creates a black hole in the global financial system. They have turned human creativity into a bearer bond that nobody can trace. So maybe you're not a drug lord. Maybe you're just a regular American billionaire who loves two things: art and paying absolutely zero taxes. For the clean money crowd, the art market offers a loophole so big you could drive a truck through it. It's called the charitable donation scheme. Here is the playbook. You buy a nice painting for $1 million. You hang on to it for a few years. Then you call up a friend. Let us call him the appraiser. He looks at your painting, rubs his chin, and says, "This is a masterpiece. It is now worth $10 million. Is it really?" Who cares? Remember, value is subjective. Since there is no blue book value for art, the IRS just has to take his word for it. Now, you do not sell the painting. If you sold it, you would have to pay taxes on the profit. Instead, you donate it to a museum. You are such a generous philanthropist. Because you are such a good person, the government lets you write off the full current market value against your income. That is a $10 million deduction. At the top tax bracket, you just saved yourself about $4 million in cold, hard cash. Do the math. You spent $1 million. You saved $4 million. You literally made a $3 million profit by giving something away. That is not charity. That is robbery. And who pays for that $4 million gap in the national budget? You do. The teachers do. The road repair crews do. Every dollar the billionaire saves on his art donation is a dollar the rest of the country has to cover. Now, a warning. Do not think you can play this game. This system is rigged for the sharks, not the minnows. If you are buying so-called investment art because some internet ad told you it beats the S&P 500, you are walking into a trap. You are the greater fool. You are the person left holding the bag when the music stops. If you want to buy art, buy it because you like the colors. Buy it because it matches your sofa. But do not buy it thinking it is a lottery ticket. Unless you own the auction house, the house always wins. You remember NFTs, right? The bored apes, the pixelated punks. Everyone laughed when that digital bubble finally burst. But here's the dark secret. NFTs were just a speed run of the traditional art market. They were the exact same scam, just faster and much stupider. But make no mistake, while the market for JPEGs collapsed, the market for physical canvas is not going anywhere. It will never burst. Why? Because the people holding these assets are the same people who run the world. They need this market to exist. They need a safe harbor to park their stolen wealth where inflation cannot eat it and where the taxman cannot see it. They have built a system where a splash of paint is more stable than the US dollar. It is a tragedy, really. Art used to be about something. It used to be about elevating the human spirit. It was about capturing history or making us feel something profound. Now, it's been stripped of its soul. It has been turned into a cold, hard financial instrument. A painting is no longer a window into the artist's mind. It is just a hostage. It is a prisoner locked in a climate-controlled dungeon in Geneva, sitting in the dark, waiting for a wire transfer to set it free. We killed the beauty, and we replaced it with liquidity. That white painting I showed you at the start, the market says it's worth $88 million. But the knowledge I just gave you, that is priceless. Do yourself a favor, hit that subscribe button so you never get fooled by the shiny veneer of high society again.